Start the timer. Koko, Sandi, 5 minutes, go. Complacency. And of course, this is complacency in relationships. And the point is, and we've kind of been dancing around this, people get bored. People get, and boredom's another one, but complacency is when you start taking people for granted. When you, and there's also that video clip that was playing earlier, it's playing again right now, okay? And it's tragic. It's like, oh my God. Anyway, but complacency, and it happens all the time. You're with somebody long enough, you start taking them for granted. And unfortunately for them, unfortunately for you, you know, other things take the place. Now, granted, some people say, well, you know, we've got kids, we've got this, we've got that, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, the problem with that is you're still becoming complacent. You're forgetting about the other person. You're forgetting about their needs. They're forgetting about your needs. You're not typically communicating, or you're doing the whole idle chit-chat, banter, you know, how was your day at work? You know, how was your day at work today? And then you shut off while they talk.
Right.
And then when they're done, then they ask you the same question. They shut off. You answer their, you know, then you and it's just blah, 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 blah. There's nothing to it. There's no, you know, what's fun is to suddenly, if somebody asks you, you know, how's your day at work, as opposed to just giving them the blah, blah, blah answer, just make something up. Say that, yeah, you know, unfortunately you had a really kind of an off day and your boss pissed you off, so you just took an axe and, you know, took an axe to them and chopped them all up and threw them out the window, and just, you know, go on to some elaborate, insane story about, you know, running people over, or you know, what was that movie with David Carradine? Death Race 2000, something like that, where, you know, they line people and they're running them over, and you know, just make up some preposterous story and see if they even pay attention. You know, there was a couple of movies where I've seen that, you know, and I'm notorious for paying attention. Like somebody, you know, I'm always paying attention, and I may pretend I'm not paying attention. But there was a couple movies I can remember where the wife said something outrageous to see that she can get a rise out of the husband. And he just kind of pretended like he, you know, like he wasn't paying attention. He was like doing something else. And then afterwards, he kind of made a comment. You know, was that before or after you're going to do whatever that was? You know? And she says, "You were paying attention." She said, "Oh yeah, I was paying attention." So you can have some fun with that, but you've got to, you know, the perpetual courtship from the earlier one. You've got to find ways to get out of the complacency, because complacency, that's when people start looking elsewhere, because it's the thrill, the danger, the excitement, the newness. You know, and granted, when you're with somebody for a long time, there's a comfort you have with them. Yeah, I don't know if that's such a good thing. I mean, it is to a point, but yeah, not so much.
Yeah,
not so much.
No, I agree with what you're saying. I mean, you take the person for granted that you always assume, well, they're always going to be there. They'll take care of this, or they're always going to be home when I get home. And it can get to a point where one day you may wake up, or one day you may come home, and they're not going to be there.
The scene in the background is the Pleasantville one, where he comes home and she's not there.
Right. Whether,
honey, I'm home.
And I don't want to be morbid or anything, but it could be either they leave, or, God forbid, something happens, because you can't recapture that. You can't get that back. So it's back to the appreciation and the spontaneity, and just loving each other and appreciating each other, and making sure to reconnect, and taking the time not to take each other for granted.
There you go. So I'm Koko.
I'm Sandi.
And that was a little less than 4 minutes. 5 minutes. Off by.